The most brutal fact in finance? It costs more to have less. Struggle isn't a character flaw, it's a math problem. When you're poor, the entire economy switches to a more expensive mode. Higher fees, worse rates, and inflated costs for basic survival. This video maps that predatory landscape with cold, hard numbers. More importantly, it's a guide to changing the rules of the game you've been forced to play. Let's start with a single universal necessity: cash flow. For someone with a financial cushion, a $400 car repair is a hassle. For someone without, it's a system-wide crisis. This is where the mechanism reveals its first gear, the emergency surcharge. Meet Priya. Her car's brake pads are shot. She doesn't have $400 in savings, so she puts the repair on a high-interest credit card. The $400 repair now carries a 24% APR. If she can only manage the minimum payment, that $400 could ultimately cost her over $700, stretching pain across a year. But the surcharge isn't just on debt. It's built into the very architecture of daily life. Now, consider the grocery run. Someone with capital can buy the 36-pack of toilet paper for $25. The unit cost is about 69 cents. The person stretching every dollar might only afford the 4-pack for $5, a unit cost of $1.25. They pay nearly double, not by choice, but by liquidity. This is the second gear, the volume penalty. It applies to everything from laundry detergent to rice. You're financially punished for your inability to make a larger upfront investment. The system charges you a premium for your lack of bulk. And then we reach the system's most powerful engine, the banking inequity. Let's visualize two bank accounts. The first, with a healthy balance, pays no monthly fees, earns a little interest, and gets free checks. The second, often dipping low, gets charged a $15 monthly maintenance fee for being below a minimum. An overdraft? That's a $35 fee per transaction. For someone living check to check, their own bank account becomes a cost center, actively draining the very resources it's meant to hold. This isn't banking, it's a toll booth on your own money. The data shows the trap is structural, not personal. The numbers don't lie. According to the FDIC, the average fee for an overdraft is $35. For someone with a tight budget, just 2 overdrafts a month wipes out $70. That could be a week's groceries. Now, let's map the full system's annual cost on a tight budget. The volume penalty on household goods, an extra $40 a month, or $480 a year. The emergency surcharge on one financed repair, an extra $300 in interest. Basic banking fees on a low balance account, $180 a year. That's nearly $1,000 annually in pure avoidable cost. A literal poverty tax simply for not having money to start with. This is the poverty premium protocol. It's a silent, automated system of financial multipliers that takes a difficult situation and systematically makes it more expensive. It feels like running on a financial treadmill that's slightly inclined, where every step requires more energy than the last. The goal isn't to exhaust you with this reality, but to expose its wiring. Because once you see the mechanism, you can start to dismantle its power over your decisions. The escape plan begins with a fundamental reframe, from seeing money as just for spending to seeing it as a system override tool. Your first financial mission isn't to get rich. It's to earn enough to bypass the protocol's most expensive gears. We do this by building what I call the circuit breaker fund. This isn't your 6-month emergency fund yet. This is a targeted initial $500 buffer whose sole job is to interrupt the poverty premium's most damaging loops. This $500 is your financial non-negotiable. It exists to pay for that $400 car repair in cash, so you never trigger the emergency surcharge. It's the capital that lets you buy the 36-pack of toilet paper, opting out of the volume penalty. It's the balance that keeps your checking account above the minimum, silencing the banking inequity. This fund doesn't sit idle. It's an active agent deployed specifically to neutralize the protocol's surcharges as they arise. Every time it does, it's not just saving you money, it's reclaiming capital that the system was counting on siphoning away. This is how you start reversing the current, one intercepted fee at a time. Let's trace the math of the circuit breaker in action, following Priya's new path. With her $500 fund, the brake repair is a $400 cash transaction. She immediately replenishes the fund with the next $400 she earns. The total cost remains $400. By avoiding the credit card, she has just saved herself over $300 in future interest payments. That's $300 that stays in her economy, not the banks. Now, she applies the same logic to groceries. Using her buffer for bulk, she saves $40 this month on the volume penalty. That $40 flows directly into strengthening her circuit breaker fund, increasing its capacity. The system's drains are becoming her reservoirs. Building this fund requires a temporary, focused siege on your own budget. This isn't about austerity, it's a strategic audit. For the next 90 days, you are a financial detective with one case. Find the $500. Track every outflow for 2 weeks. You're not looking for judgment, you're looking for the first and easiest protocol leak to plug. Is it a subscription you haven't used in 3 months? That's a $15 leak. Is it eating lunch out 4 days a week? Making coffee at home 2 more days a week could reclaim another $12. This isn't about cutting joy, it's about identifying the small, unconscious drips that, when redirected, form the stream that fills your circuit breaker. You aren't just saving money, you're redirecting capital from the system's pockets back into your own. Once your $500 circuit breaker is live, your financial architecture fundamentally changes. You have moved from a reactive state, where every surprise is a crisis, to a buffered state, where surprises are manageable inconveniences. This is where you initiate phase 2, upgrading the protocol. Now, you use the money you're no longer losing to the poverty premium to build your own wealth-generating system. The $35 you don't pay in overdraft fees this month? It gets a new assignment. The $40 saved from bulk buying? It gets a new assignment. This capital gets routed to 2 new accounts, each with a distinct role in your new operating system. The first is your true emergency foundation. This is where you grow your circuit breaker from $500 to a full 1 month's worth of essential expenses. Its job is total stability, to protect you from ever falling back into the old, expensive gears. The second is your Freedom Capital account. Even if it starts with $20 a month, this account's sole purpose is to be deployed into assets that work for you, not into fees that work against you. This is where you begin investing in a low-cost index fund. That $20 is no longer a cost avoidance. It's your first employee in a new enterprise. The long-term data shift is profound. Let's project 5 years for 2 people. First, someone who remains inside the poverty premium protocol. They pay an average of $80 a month in its various fees and penalties. $4,800 over 5 years, gone with nothing to show for it. Now, Priya, who built her circuit breaker and upgraded. She not only avoids that $4,800 drain, but she redirects even half of it, $40 a month, into her Freedom Capital account. Investing that $40 monthly into a broad market ETF with a conservative average annual return of 7% doesn't just save her money. It builds her over $2,800 in new capital in 5 years. The differential isn't $4,800. It's over $7,600. That's the cost of the old system versus the value of the new one. This is the ultimate reframe. Being poor is expensive because the system is designed to harvest from scarcity. But you are not powerless to its design. By methodically building your circuit breaker fund, you force a critical error in its logic. You introduce a buffer it cannot penetrate. You convert defensive savings into offensive capital. You stop funding the protocol that holds you back and start funding the one that propels you forward. The goal isn't just to understand the data that proves it's more expensive to be poor. The goal is to use that very understanding to make it forever more expensive for poverty to hold on to you. Your financial life is no longer a series of expensive reactions. It is now a system you operate, intentionally, gear by gear, toward freedom.
The single best financial decision you can make right now? Invest in your financial education. Hit subscribe to get our next breakdown and turn on notifications so you don't miss out, because the system only works if you apply it consistently. I'll see you in the next one.